Good morning, everyone. My name is Radhika Longbottom, and we're going to kick off this webinar today by observing a minute's silence for all the key workers who have lost their lives due to the coronavirus. So please bear with us for another minute. Right, so welcome again, and thank you very much for registering for our webinar today on Queen Sport. I'm here with my colleagues, Raymond Miller, who is our NI Recruitment Officer.
Hello, everyone. You're very welcome.
And I'm also here with Carl Oakes, who is the Deputy Director of Queen Sport. And over to Carl.
Hello, thanks Radhika, thanks Ray. Okay. So just like to start. Oh, sorry, Raymond.
Sorry, yeah, just before we start, I just want to welcome everybody. Just thank you all very much for joining us here. I know it's lovely weather out there and there's probably lots of things you would want to be doing, but we're really glad that you've chosen to join us here today. In a moment, I'll hand over to Carl, but I just want to make you aware of a couple of things. So during this webinar, obviously, Carl is going to speak to you about everything involved in Queen Sport, and that will last around 20 to 25 minutes. After that, there will be a period where you can ask some questions. So at that stage, we will enable the chat box on the right-hand side, and you can ask some questions to myself and Carl. And also just to make you aware, throughout Carl's presentation, there will be a number of polls will pop up on your screen. So it just gives us a wee bit more information about your interests and the areas of sport that you're interested in. So if you could complete those, that would be really helpful. Before I hand over to Carl, as Radhika has mentioned, he is the Deputy Head of Queen Sport. He used to work as the Performance Sports Manager, and he is a keen gym goer, so he is in a perfect position to answer any queries and questions that you might have. So thank you very much, and I'll just hand over to you, Carl.
Okay, thanks Raymond. Okay, thanks for joining in on today's presentation. Hopefully we'll give you an insight into Queen Sport, what we do to support our students, and just to give you a flavour for what it would be like if you were to attend Queen's in the next academic year, and happy to take any questions at the end of the presentation. So sport at Queen's, we have 5 sites based at the university here. Most of our fitness and indoor sport takes place at the Physical Education Centre, or PEC, as it would be commonly known as. We also have an outdoor complex at Upper Malone, which involves most of our team sports. So the likes of rugby and soccer and hockey will take place at the Upper Malone site. We also have a boathouse, which houses our rowing clubs and canoe clubs. And we also have a Mourne Cottage, which is a listed building in the Mourne Mountains, which our Diamond Club would use quite regularly. And more recently, we have opened up a new gym on the ground floor of an accommodation block at BT1 in the city centre. In terms of some of the numbers, our centre would be quite busy. It's one of the most populated gyms in Northern Ireland. We have around 1.5 million users per year across all our sites. We have a lot of schools and community use as well throughout the sites. In terms of the number of members, we have a broad mix of memberships in the centre between public, student, staff, and also our graduate members. And we like to maintain our contact with our graduates, and we have regular offers to engage with our graduates as they pass through the university and move on to graduate life. We have 54 sporting clubs. That number tends to go up and down. We have a range of sports clubs that caters for over 9,000 student members and around 500 club administrators. So they really are the heartbeat of club development at the university. And they're student-led, and we try to empower the students to lead the clubs as best they can and to gain skills in their various roles. We have an elite athlete program and a sports bursary program, which offers up scholarships to those students that may be involved in individual sports or team sports and that have aspirations of maybe competing at a local, national and world level. And so we have a support system here in place for those. In terms of our high profile sports, we have an academy system which involves our 5 priority sports, which include rugby, Gaelic games, rowing, hockey and soccer. So that just gives you a flavour for what we do. There's just a depiction of some of the sites. The top left, we have our outdoor venue, which is about 2 miles from the main university campus. Most students will drive nowadays, so in my day you would have had to take a bus or something similar or a taxi to get up there. But most students have a car, and the infrastructure to get up to the site is quite good with regular bus times that take you up there, and it is a direct route from the main university campus. On the top right of the slide, you'll see the boathouse. It's walking distance from the main university campus, and it's on the River Lagan. And it is a great facility. It was invested in recently, maybe 3 years ago. So we invested in additional storage and social space for the students to operate it. And again, that houses our rowing and canoe clubs primarily. Bottom left is the Physical Education Centre. It had an extension around 10 years ago, and it was a major investment at the time in physical fitness studio space. We also invested in a cafe, and we have a performance clinic, which has just recently been taken over by a third party, which is offering a range of world-class services in terms of physio and medical expertise for students and our members. On the bottom right, we have the Mourne Cottage, which, as I said previously, is a listed building, and it houses about 25 rooms, and is a gateway for great expeditions and climbing routes, which the climbing club would avail of quite regularly. And Raymond, I think you're just going to show a video just to depict some of the facilities we have on offer. Okay, so hopefully that'll give you just a feel for some of the facilities that we have to offer. The Upper Malone site was invested in about 5 or 6 years ago, and it really transformed that site. So we built a new social club and gym at the outdoor complex. And more recently, we invested in a gym at the accommodation block at BT1, and that provides an exceptional space for our students that are living in accommodation to use up-to-date equipment supplied by our key partner, Technogym. And it also has virtual classes, and our fitness instructors would deliver a daily program of classes and courses that all of our accommodation students can avail of. So you should check that one out. In terms of the membership itself of Queen's Sport and associated facilities, we have a range of highly competitive membership packages, and that's peak and off peak, and I'll discuss what those are later in the presentation. So there's hopefully there would be something there to appeals to your academic course or your social life, or whatever suits you best. Hopefully there is a product there that can suit your needs as you want to embark on a student sport journey. In relation to the accommodation, so we have a partnership with our colleagues in accommodation. So all accommodation students at Queen's would get an automatic off-peak membership of the gym here at Queen's Sport. So that slide just outlines some of the benefits of that. So you would get access to not only the gym at BT1, you would also get access at the gym at the PEC as well. We have a range of experts in terms of fitness instructors and outside external instructors who are there to support your program, support what you want to achieve in terms of your fitness and lifestyle goals, and they're all at hand in terms of inductions, and they're there to support you, as you embark on your Queen's journey. We have a range of fitness and classes. We have in excess of 90 plus classes and courses throughout the year. And again, they vary from, as outlined there, yoga, Pilates, there's martial arts, there's dance. So there's hopefully a range of activities there that might appeal to you. We also have a 25-meter swimming pool at the Queen's PEC, and that includes a diving pool, and it's a great facility in terms of school access and school galas as well. We have a number of racket sports available and climbing at the Queen's PEC, and we also have a new partnership with Kingsbridge in terms of the clinic, and they'll offer sports massage, physiotherapy, nutrition advice, and there's some of the benefits that will complement Queen's Sport membership. In terms of our peak and off-peak opening times, off-peak times on Monday to Thursday, and the times listed, and you also get access at the weekends from Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So that gives you an idea of the specifics around the membership, our opening times. They're all set up to support your academic. We appreciate that a lot of courses are during the day and 9 to 5. But hopefully, our program will support the academic offer as well. Moving on to more club development and club sport and our active campus program. So we're part of a healthy campus framework at the university, and that's really kicked off over recent years to support staff and student well-being. Recent research would tell you that students that are involved in regular physical activity perform better, are more employable, and enjoy better mental well-being. So hopefully being involved in sport in whatever aspect, whether it be club sport or just part of the gym or fitness or volunteering, hopefully you will get something out of it, and that will make you a more employment ready student, and will improve your overall mental, physical, emotional well-being. So we have a number of programs within Active Campus. You see the hashtags there: Active Fitness, Active Lifestyles, Active Clubs. So Active Fitness, again, that goes through your class and course program, and there's a range of those, and we adapt those so they're seasonal. So there'll be a summer program, there'll be an autumn one, a winter one, spring one, and we would adapt, and we keep our ear to the ground on what the current trends are in terms of fitness, and we try to stay ahead of the curve in terms of delivering world-class fitness instruction, tapping into the best and the greatest expertise that we can get our hands on. Active lifestyles, so that's more deliberate, structured lifestyle programs. So you have a number of programs that are there to help you. If it's it's your first time getting involved in sport, there's programs that are, for instance, the Pitch to 5K is a great program. that encourages people just to get active if they haven't really got active before. We also run Park Run every Saturday morning. I'm sure most of you are aware of Park Run, which is a global phenomenon now, and we were the first university on these shores to launch Park Run within the university grounds. So that takes place at our main site. We also have a number of leagues, in terms of five-a-side. We have rugby leagues and things like nutritious and mindfulness workshops as well through our active lifestyle program. And then moving on to active clubs. Clubs are again lifeblood of club development, and we have a vibrant club scene here at the university. So there's a number of volunteering opportunities. We're involved in a program called Degree Plus, which sort of accreditates people that are involved in clubs to latch on to your degree once you finish your time here at Queen's. We also have a number of programs through our national governing bodies. So the big ones around Queen's would be rugby, through the RFU, Ulster Council for GA, and the IFA for soccer. We also have a number of outreach, performance and recognition programs as part of the Active Clubs program. That's just some posters that complement some of the fitness programs. So our design team in the centre just create the programs as we design the program for the various initiatives. So that's the Evolve Winter Program, which is a deliberate 8-week program. And again, it's a range of abilities that are involved in that program. We also have yoga on various levels, from beginner right up to expert level within yoga. That's a picture of our 5K. So we run an annual 5K race. Probably the reason I'm showing you that is that, again, that event is club-led. So we empower the students to get involved from an event management point of view. And there's about 1,000+ runners in that every year, and it's supported by the local council. We close off the roads, and that's a great event that demonstrates how important our clubs are in delivering events, and we're there to support and empower the students to get involved, and that'll stay with those students, throughout their career in terms of developing those skills, lifelong skills that we hope to provide all our students, not only in their academic environment, but also to support them in terms of the softer skills and being better communicators, better leaders, better organisers, and hopefully there will be something there that can help you develop those skills as you go through. In relation to student sport, just some key figures around that. So again, just reiterating, 500 club officers, 55 clubs, 9,000 students involved in clubs and societies. And we do that in partnership with our colleagues in the Students' Union, who have a vibrant student union scene. So there's loads of initiatives that students can get involved in through the Students' Union. Within our clubs, so we have a tiered system within club development. So the participation clubs that are there to support students just getting active, and probably more social sport than competitive. And then within that, we appreciate that there are clubs that operate in a more competitive area, and we would describe those as performance clubs. And overarching between all of this is well-being and encouraging people to get involved, no matter what ability or no matter what level, and hopefully there will be something there for students to get involved in. I just want to show a video, Raymond, of student participation.
The Participation Sport Programme at Queen's aims to get students and staff at all levels involved in forms of physical activity, social sport and fitness here at Queen's.
I think if you just come to one of the programmes, you see how much fun and enjoyment everyone's having, and you realise it's a big step to take at the start, but once you do, I don't think there's any going back. We use the terminology, find your level. Whether you're a performance athlete, we want you to come and play at Queen's, or whether you're someone that has just decided they want to get fit in and they're not sure how to, that's when they fall into Active Campus.
Our Active Campus programme has delivered over 35 different initiatives this year, engaged with over 4,000 students and staff, from our Kids to 5K programmes through to our intramural social sport activities, right up until some mass participation events like our Queen's 5K race or swim-a-thon, come and try events as well. This new investment in facilities at BT1 will give us all a drive to work better and closer together, along with our colleagues in accommodation, with the Students' Union, student wellbeing teams, to really create a truly active campus.
We're delighted with our facilities down here in BT1 and great feedback from the students. They can access these world-class facilities on their doorstep. Through our class programme at Queen's, we try and engage as many of our staff and students as possible. We support initiatives like Mental Health Awareness Week, International Women's Day, and we work very closely with disability and wellbeing services and Student Plus in general, just to try and engage as many young people as possible. We run about 100 classes and courses per week at Queen's, and now with the new added timetable at BT1, we're up to about 120 classes per week. There's a great community, who just be in our classes, and regardless of your ability, you can improve, and you can then filter into some of our club programmes, or social sport, development clubs, and you can take that as far as you want.
Sport has a real positive role to play in opening our arms out to welcome everyone, no matter what background, to Queen's.
Okay, so some good scenes there, and thanks, Ryan, for showing that. Just moving into performance sport now, and go back on the previous slides of the scholarship programme. So we have a range of scholarships that have been built up over recent years, and that follows the Elite Athlete Programme, the Academy Scholarship Programme, and also the bursary scheme. So just to explain the difference between each of the schemes. So the bursary scheme has been designed for non-academy sports. So maybe some individual sports like golf and athletics, and we don't have an academy for some of those sports, but we want to offer those students, and we've seen a number of students go through that scheme to go on to achieve great things at European level and on the world stage as well. So there is a bursary scheme that is available for those students. The Academy scholarships, again, there's over 100 scholarships available, and they're there not only to provide financial assistance, but also to provide some support and services to our students by way of coaching or medical expertise or strength and conditioning. And you will find a lot of universities have developed these programs to go beyond just offering up facilities and financial rewards to our students. Then moving into the Elite Athlete Programme, you will see that's probably our gold standard scholarship programme, when we're currently about 20 athletes on that programme each year. And they range between academy sports and non-academy sports. So if you look at this year, cohort of students covers sports including rugby, hockey, GAA, rowing, gymnastics and cycling. We have a tiered system within the Elite Athlete Programme, so we have Tier 1 students and Tier 2. Tier 1 students would cover everything up to 5K for students attending. So it is a highly competitive market out there to attract students, and we believe our programs are world class, and we have world class people involved in supporting the students to achieve their goals. You will see a list of other benefits in the program, which I'll not go through, but if you need any advice or support or more information, please feel free to contact myself or my colleagues within sport. Just looking at the 5 sporting academies, again, these are our high priority sports. We have a lot of support from the governing bodies of these sports. They would be perceived as being the top sports on this island. So we have 8 teams within hockey, with 4 teams within soccer, 5 teams within rugby, GA with about 13 teams, and rowing we have excess of 80 students involved in rowing. These cover male and female teams, so it's not only the performance teams within our academy setup, there's also a range of participation teams, and we do invest in coaching across all of those levels. We tend to provide additional facilities for these academies. It does inform how we do things around sport and where we put our investment. So if you happen to be interested in those academies, we hopefully have a system here that will help you not only to achieve on performance level, but also to embed you in club and the sporting scene here at the university. So I think Raymond's going to just show a quick video on the academy system here. Some great finishes there from soccer lads within the last season or two. So hopefully that'll give you a better feel for the academies here. That brings my presentation today to an end. We do have a range of videos, and we do have some information on our web. So if you can check out our YouTube video or playlist videos, you just Google Queen Sport YouTube, and that'll give you access to a range of resources through our YouTube channel. We're also on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. And if you need any specific query or question answered, you can email sport@qub.ac.uk or performancesport@qub.ac.uk. And again, we are on the web, and we do have an app, so feel free to log in and try to get more information on what we do here at the university. So thank you for listening. Hopefully that was informative, and I'll hand it back to Raymond. Thank you.
Carl, thank you very much. Really detailed insight into everything going on in sport. I have just opened up the chat feature, so if anyone has any questions, please feel free to fire away now, and we'll do our best to answer that. Carl, I think what was really good there was Queen Sport are constantly investing and adapting to meet the needs of everybody, whether you're an elite athlete or you just want to get involved in sport for the first time. So that was really encouraging to see. So thank you for that. First question here that has come through. What are Queen Sport currently doing to support students during lockdown? And is this likely to continue into September?
Okay, well, Firstly, I would be a brave person to put a time frame on when we will return to some degree of normality. I suppose, like everybody, we have tried to use our expertise at hand to support our students and our clubs during the lockdown. So I think we ended up creating an online resource pack from the end of March, mainly through YouTube and Facebook, to support our students. So that covers a range of areas, not only in fitness and physical fitness, but also there's some examples of what we do around mindfulness and mental health and relaxation and meditation. And that probably gives you an insight and a window into the types of support and expertise that we do have here at the university. So we're blessed with, I'm sure all universities say they're working with great people, but we are blessed with having some great expertise within sport, within participation, and within performance sport. So we've built up, an arsenal of resources there for our students to tap into. We do have regular contact with our student athletes. So we have a mentor assigned to our athletes who does check in, and probably now is more than ever is the need to try and engage and communicate with our students. So we do have a number of interventions and interactions with our students ongoingly. It's a different, it's a different time here in terms of what we're faced with. So we've adapted quite well, and with the digital age, we've sort of embraced most of the social media platforms and the various web-based platforms to engage with our students. So hopefully there is something there that might benefit prospective students as well in terms of what resources we have.
Really good. Questions are coming in thick and fast here, Carl. So hopefully some will be easier to answer than others.
Yeah.
Are all the teams in the sporting academies included in the development programs? I.e., if you're in the bottom hockey team, would you still get the benefits of being part of the academy? Great question there.
Yeah. So the academy is there for all the members of that particular sport. So we indeed invest in performance and performance teams. But if you take an example of hockey, so we would have our first and seconds teams within the women's and men's game, who would be classed as our performance teams, and we would invest more in coaching for those teams. But we also invest in coaching right throughout the club. So if you're in the fourths or the fifths, you still will get the benefit of not only if you take a sport like hockey, we invested in a world-class international hockey pitch just last year. Unfortunately, we haven't really seen the benefit of that because we literally just opened it. So we did invest over $1 million, and that facility will benefit not only the students at the performance end, but also the students that are involved in all teams within in that particular academy, and the same for the other academy sports there as well.
I was lucky enough to play on that pitch just before lockdown, so I can vouch it's an amazing facility. Another question here, is horse riding one of the sports that you would actively support?
Yeah, we do have an equestrian club here. Unfortunately, we don't have stables now. Not at the university. Although I'm sure many students would love to be rampaging through the university on horse and jumping over things. So we do have a vibrant equestrian club. Some of the students have availed of the bursary scheme, and they have went on to represent Ireland in equestrian, and we were able to support them through the bursary scheme. So just to give you an example of some of the support there, you would get access to the gym, you would get some clothing, you would get some physio support, some strength and conditioning support, and you would get a financial bursary through that scheme as well. So that's probably the level of support there specifically to equestrian. But we also work with our colleagues in the Students' Union who deliver support and training for those students and administrators that are involved in that club as well.
Perfect. I'm yet to myself to see any students arriving in lectures on horseback, but you never know. Within academies such as hockey, are there different teams such as first 11 downwards? So you have covered that. But yeah, so in terms of hockey specifically, how many teams are on each side?
Yeah, so across the academy sports, we have about 35 teams. So if you multiply that out, you could be talking 400, 500 students involved in academy sports. Within hockey, we have 5 women's teams and we have 2 men's teams. I think we did have 3. So that sort of goes up and down between what leagues there are, how many numbers are coming in. So I think hockey is probably a good example of the academy structure here and how that has helped the team in terms of numbers and people participating in that sport. So for example, 10 years ago we had 1 hockey team and now we have 8 or 7 or 8. So that just demonstrates the academy system and how it's worked.
Perfect. The next question, how far away is the nearest Queen's gym to beat Elms BT9? So obviously that's the PEC. That one is about a 10-minute walk away from Elms BT9. So you've got an amazing state-of-the-art facility right next door to your accommodation.
Yeah, just on that, Raymond.
Yes,
so in terms of the fitness offer, we do have a performance gym at our outdoor venue, which is designed solely for our student scholars. And so that's at the venue 2 miles from the main university campus. As you said, within the BT9, it's a 10-minute walk to the PEC, and then the BT1 facility in the city centre. So we probably have all the areas covered there within walking distance or driving distance where you're heading to.
Brilliant. A query here just from somebody who presumably has made an application for the Elite Athlete Programme. They're just asking when they're likely to hear back about the EAP application.
Yeah, so the window for Elite Athlete applications closed, I think, on the 10th of April. So my colleagues in sport are going through a shortlisting process at present. It's a bit more challenging doing it remotely because there are interviews involved in that process. So they're in the process of going through the shortlist for applications, and we'll be writing out to all those students that have applied for the programme. I suppose the Elite Athlete Programme runs on a deadline, although if you are a prospective student and maybe things have changed from your sporting career and maybe you've achieved something outstanding that's beyond the deadline, we're happy to accept some correspondence to engage with you to see if there are if there is support available for you. We may not fill all our places every year, so there may be scope and room for students to apply with.
Super. The next one, are you eligible for a sports bursary if you have represented Northern Ireland at national level in trampolining?
Okay, so the criteria for the bursary scheme would be based on international representation. And we sort of, the criteria it's difficult to compare sport by sport because an international athlete in one particular sport might mean something different to another international in a different sport. So we try to be as fair as we can, and we do take in things like the governing body of the sport. Are you a recognised sport within sort of the Sport NI or Irish Sports Council scene? So we do weigh these things up. So we look at how competitive the competition is, how many people compete in that competition specifically. So we'll take all those in. So I can't really give you a yes or a no. I suppose the criteria does tweak a wee bit year on year. But if there's if it's a high enough standard, there's enough places, we will do everything in our power to try and support our students.
Great. You probably have already answered this question in the answer you've just given, but the question is, what sort of level should you be playing at to apply for a sports scholarship? So again, that's going to vary from sport to sport, presumably.
Yeah. So again, we look at sort of national success, that could mean underage schools, under 21, senior, and again it goes sport by sport. So you could have an exceptional 19-year-old gymnast who is competing at the world stage. For an example, one of the elite athlete program athletes is a gymnast and has competed at the Commonwealth Games at senior level, although they would still be in sort of the under 21, under 23 bracket. So it is varied, and the panel weighs everything up year on year.
Perfect. We have a couple of queries about specific sports, but before we move on to them, there's one more just about the scholarships. So just to wrap up those, it just asks, can we sign up for the Academy Scholarship now, or is it only open in September?
It is open, I think, in August this year. Now, some of those dates, historically, the Academy program would open up in August for students to apply for. So if you have a firm offer and you will be attending Queen's, we would encourage you to apply. I probably wouldn't apply unless you had those things in place.
Sure.
Although things may change, postgraduate students may not decide they're coming to Queen's probably later on in the year, and there is a window there for students to apply up until the end of September. So there is that 2-month window there, and I know a lot can change in terms of offers, and more so now than ever before in terms of uncertainty around offers and places. But we'd encourage you to apply if you have a firm offer or you are going to be attending things. We would encourage you to apply in August.
Thanks. A couple of queries about volleyball, just asking, is it offered at Queen's? I know there definitely is a volleyball. And then another query about badminton and the involvement of Queen's with the badminton club.
Yeah, volleyball, we have a men's ladies team. We have coaches in place for volleyball. I think a lot of the students that go through volleyball would go on to compete for Northern Ireland, and I know some have moved on to another version of the sport in beach volleyball, and some of the students have done quite well in that discipline of the sport. So there is a good vibrant club there at Queen's for both male and female students. In terms of badminton, it would be one of our most attended sports at Queen's. The numbers are huge every year. So at the sign up in September, October, I know it is one of the clubs that would get an extra 150 up to 200 members.
Really popular.
Listed. Yeah, and we do have big halls within the physical education centre, and we have room to set up for, I think it's 12 badminton courts, and you would see on a night of training as many as 10 to 12 courts in operation. So it is a vibrant club as well, and they do compete in varsities in Ireland as well.
Brilliant. A couple of really good questions here. One is, do Queen's have days or afternoons where there are no lectures and sport is encouraged instead? So historically, in a lot of universities, that would have been a Wednesday afternoon. Is that something that's encouraged in Queen's?
Yeah, well, not to give away my age, but when I was attending Queen's many years ago, Wednesday was always sacrosanct, so it was left alone, and it was your sport and activity day. Things have sort of moved slightly on that, so you would get a lot more activity at night time. So there's been investment in floodlights. Coach availability is more towards the evening time, and that's coupled with maybe more demands on some of the academic courses that probably have crept into that Wednesday afternoon. If you want my personal view on it, yeah. I don't think having a Wednesday afternoon for sport is the silver bullet in terms of creating space in the week. I believe that courses need to start to look at how to manage their day in terms of getting the blend right between academia and between lifestyle and we've seen the benefits more so now than ever of getting out, getting active, and it's good for your physical health, emotional well-being, and mental health as well. So I would, to be honest, if I was running a sports centre and everyone had a Wednesday afternoon off, so we had 9,000 club members coming in looking for sport, we wouldn't be able to cope with that. So in my day it was, but now I think it's a more blended approach. I'm trying to incorporate that into the daily academic timetable.
Brilliant. Love this question. If you have a coaching qualification, are there opportunities to coach at Queen's?
Yeah. So again, come back to the sort of the pathway between our performance and participation sports. We do invest in coaching ourselves. We do encourage our students to get involved in coaching. I know some of the rugby students from the men's team would be trying to upskill themselves and be involved in the ladies coaching. And so we do encourage that, and we also invest in training education. So we have launched a new leadership program, and that's targeting our more of our head coaches. So my colleague Aidan, who's the performance manager, has developed a program with the Leadership Institute and how to develop and get leadership accreditation that goes alongside their sports coaching as well. So there's a range of opportunities. You can get involved in more of the social end of things, semi-competitive sports, but also the performance end as well. And we do have a lot of training and education in place.
Brilliant. A couple of questions kind of tie together. One, it says for 2021 entry or further, should they look at sport before coming or just leave it until they arrive at university? And then coupled with that, do you need to have previous experience in the sport to sign up or participate in certain sports?
So the 2021 entry, should I look at sport before coming or just leave it until? I think most of the clubs have an email address. So the good thing is that the email address stays the same every year. So I think like clubs are open probably all year round now. We do have dedicated staff within our academy sports who are able to support students. They do a lot of work with prospective students as well, and parents in terms of advice and support and information. So they're available again all year round. I suppose for the non-academy sports, we have a clubs and societies development officer, and we have a sports clubs development officer as well, who works in the students' union, but also has an arrangement where he works with Queen's Sport as well, and they're there all year round as well to field queries and to support any queries you have. So I would probably research it beforehand now if it was me or my advice, and try to get as much information to make a qualified decision on where you want to end up. So that was the first question, Ray.
The second one was just about, do you need to have any previous experience to sign up for certain sports?
That's a good question. Again, all the sign-ups primarily would take place at the Freshers' Fair, which is at the beginning of the year, and the clubs have a display and an offering which most universities have. I think the Students' Union have moved to a more online sign-up system, which is good in one way, but you lose that sort of face-to-face contact for answering those types of queries. More technical sports, I'll give you an example of maybe canoeing. So you would need to have a certain level of an experience within that sport to take part in some of their trips in terms of their river grades and things like that. So more technical sports like canoeing, taekwondo is another good example where you need to have a certain belt to get involved in some of the activities. Fencing, archery, again, you would need to have a bit of experience there in terms of getting involved in some activity. But by and large, most clubs are catered to support for students that are complete beginner and novice to that sport. A good example would be rowing, where the club would get hundreds of sign-ups at the start of the year for people that just want to sample that sport, that probably wouldn't have had a chance to sample that sport at school. And they're complete novices, and they do have specific programs for those novice students as well. So most of the clubs are okay. Although I did try to get into both one day, and it's harder than it seems. So you might get embarrassed if you just rock up and think you can be the next stage recreator. So.
And I suppose just to follow on from that, Carl, if anyone had a specific sport in mind that they wanted to know what the sort of criteria was to enter, you can contact the club now. That, they all have email addresses that you can make contact with them.
Yeah.
Perfect. Next question. If you have to travel for competitions, how does the university deal with that, and how do they react to that if you have to miss any classes?
That's another great question. So we do have academic flexibility built into our elite athlete program, academy program, and sports bursary program. So if you're on a scholarship of any of those, you do qualify for academic flexibility, but it doesn't give you a license to miss class. So we would encourage students actually not to use it. We would encourage students to manage themselves better, to try and manage their time. It's not a license to get extension on to deadlines around assignments or to move exams. Now, some students have used it for that purpose, but it's been unavoidable in terms of competing for their sport. There is an exceptional circumstance around some of the sports that land on a class time, and there's an alternative route to apply for that through the Students' Union. So say your intervarsity happens to be on a Friday and it's in Dublin, and it clashes with the labs or a class or a course. There are examples of exceptional circumstances where you can apply for that, and by and large, most of the academics and director of education would be supportive of our students competing for the Queen's and representing the university and themselves.
Brilliant. Do the men's boat club and the ladies boat club train together?
Good question. I think there are times in the program where they do train together. So more at the start of the season, the off season would be around the autumn time. There would be a lot of land training for rowing. So there would be a lot of erg training inside. We do have a studio there for our rowers, so a dedicated space, and you would get a mix of male and female training. Now, when you get into sort of more of the crews and the specific events, you will get crews training together, and there wouldn't be a sort of mixed events within rowing, as far as I'm aware. And we have dedicated coaches for each of the crews within the men's and the women's team. So we would have beginner, intermediate, and senior coaches across men's and women's. So there'll be occasions where there'll be gym work together, there'll be fitness classes, there'll be circuits together. But if you're getting into more crew boats and selections, it would be you train with your crew.
Perfect. There has been a query about where to find the emails for club contacts, and I have sent that directly to the person there, so that's that dealt with. If anyone else wants that sent through, we can certainly do that. Next question, for the academy sports, is there a formal selection process for each team, or do the committee members watch the first few sessions and pick from there? Good question.
Great question. So we have sort of understood how to operate the academy system, and we've probably refined that process over years. So the deadline for the academy is around September, but you're probably still on probation there because you're really on unknown. You might have a big reputation coming in, or you might have a good application form or a great interview, or you might have been touted up And from our experience, until you're there, you're training, we get coach feedback, we get feedback from the club. It might take another couple of weeks before you will get a definite offer. So within the academy system, there's tiered support within the academy, but we also have a sub-academy, which is maybe designed for students that maybe just aren't at academy level, but we do have a range of support to try and elevate you to get up to academy status. So we don't discount anybody that applies. We believe we have a fair system. We have a good system here to support all our students, whether it be participation or those that maybe aspire to go through our academy and elite athlete system.
Next question. If you're part of the rowing club but not competing at international level, do you have to start as a novice?
Ooh, now we're getting technical.
Now we're talking about the rowing club.
I wish I had the rowing coaches with me here to answer that one.
If you're not sure, I can go back to this person directly.
That might be one. I do know, most of the novices that come in won't have any representation at all.
Yeah.
And most of the competitions, to be honest, Raymond, are maybe local competitions. So things like the Iron Head or Portadown Regatta, or we do our own boat race as well at the university, which is a varsity, probably replicating the Oxford Cambridge event between ourselves and Trinity, and that provides opportunities for students just to get involved in, and that's novice, fresher, and senior. So there's loads of competitions, opportunities to get involved if you are a novice, because it's important to have that competitiveness within the sports as well, to keep people involved and engaged.
Query here, I can send the email address directly to this person, but the query is there an email to contact if we have questions about the EAP application?
Yeah,
so the email address on screen potentially? Yeah,
there's two of those emails will work. Probably the second one there, performancesport@QED, will be picked up. We have a performance manager and a performance assistant who will be able to answer your queries as they come in. So that's the best one to use.
Okay, next question. In your opinion, if you're a postgraduate student on a one-year course, would it limit your opportunity to make the top tier teams?
Not at all. An example would be there's a rower who came in as a postgraduate student from Edinburgh, I think last year, who went straight into the elite athlete program. Obviously, the student competed at a high level in their undergraduate study, but they came in straight as a postgraduate student, and we would get some postgraduate students coming into the academy system as well, who just maybe have done a course in Ireland or GB before, but we wouldn't discriminate against a postgraduate student coming in as long as they have the relevant experience and qualifications at undergraduate level.
Brilliant. Carl, that seems to be all the questions at the moment, but so thank you very much for that. We're kind of putting you on the spot, but you managed to answer those all brilliantly. We've actually reached the end of our time, folks that are still with us, and we will go back through the questions to make sure we haven't missed anything. And certainly if you have any more questions or queries, contact the email addresses on screen, or you can contact the student recruitment team, and our email addresses will be in the follow-up email that we'll send you after this event. So please, if you have any queries, get in touch with us. And just before I hand over to Radhika, hopefully we will see you all in Queen's very soon. And thank you very much again, Carl.
Okay, thank you. Enjoyed it.
So on behalf of the student recruitment team at Queen's, on behalf of Carl and on behalf of Raymond, thank you very much for watching. I really hope you found this useful. And I'm literally going to finish off by saying that we have a number of other sort of student live programs and webinars that we have put together. So it's a series of webinars. The next one is on Thursday at 11 o'clock, and we will be looking at accommodation that is designed to suit the needs of students wishing to study at Queen's University Belfast. So once again, have a fantastic day wherever you are, and hopefully we will see you at the next seminar on Thursday. If not, good luck for those of you who have applied to Queen's for the 2020 entry, and those of you who haven't, I hope you found the session useful, and it'll be helpful in making that, you know, what we understand is a very difficult time and a very difficult decision. So on behalf of all of us, thank you and goodbye.